What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my DVD collection for 2012 and the music section, which is of course musicals and movies about music. So let's get started. So up first we have Across the Universe from about 2006. I really enjoyed this film. Musical set to Beatles music with Evan Rachel Wood and Jim Sturgis. Next we have Airheads from 1994. Great early films for people like Steve Buscemi, Brendan Fraser, and Adam Sandler about a rock band who take hostage of a radio station. Next we have Cameron Crowe's Almost Famous from 2000, one of my favorite films of the past decade. I absolutely adore this movie. It gets better and better every time I see it. What's her name? Kate Hudson, her best performance, and she's gone downhill ever since. Such a great cast. You've got Patrick Fugit, Jason Lee, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Frances McDormand, Billy Crudup. Yeah, just a brilliant film. I absolutely love it. Okay, next we have Amadeus from 1984. Great film directed by Milos Forman with F. Murray Abraham, of course, Tom Hulce, and yeah, just a great film. Next we have An American in Paris from 1951 with Gene Kelly. I need to upgrade this edition because, of course, it's a snapper case, and there's actually a nice. There's been some recent editions that are much better. Next we have the Bandwagon from 1953, I believe, with Fred Astaire and Sid Charisse. Next we have Beyond the Sea from 2004, I believe, or 2003. Great movie, directed by and starring Kevin Spacey as the great Bobby Darin, with Kate Bosworth, John Goodman, and Bob Hoskins. Next we have Cabaret, Bob Fosse's classic from 1972 with Liza Minnelli. Next we have Chicago from 2002, probably my favorite musical of the past decade, with Richard Gere, Renee Zellweger, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yeah, just love the music and the set pieces. Just a great movie. Next we have Crazy Heart from a few years ago, 2009, I believe. Jeff Bridges, brilliant as an aging country rock performer. Maggie Gyllenhaal, great as well. Yeah, great performance by Jeff Bridges in this. Next we have the classic Dirty Dancing from 1987, of course, with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. Saw it tons of times when I was younger because it's one of my mom's favorite films, and I've just seen it like probably 20, 30 times at least. Next we have The Doors from 1991, great film directed by Oliver Stone with Val Kilmer, of course, as Jim Morrison. I did a review of this for the Movie Reviewers 100. So if you want to check out my full review of The Doors, I'll put a link in the description. A great film. Next we have Easter Parade from, I believe this is 1948. Yeah, Irving Berlin's Easter Parade with Judy Garland and Fred Astaire. Okay, next we have Empire Records from 1995, remix special fan edition. Absolutely adore this movie because I worked in a record store in the late 90s, and I related to this film a lot. I've seen it a bunch of times. Liv Tyler is great. You've got Rory Cochrane is hilarious. Ethan Embry, a young Renee Zellweger. Yeah, I just love Empire Records. Okay, next we have a Evanescence DVD, Anywhere But Home. Their live performances of mostly after their album Fallen came out. I also have this on CD on my iTunes. Also has like a bunch of interviews and like behind the scenes footage as well. Next we have The Full Monty, great British comedy from 1997 with Robert Carlyle. Awesome movie. Next we have Gentlemen Prefer Blondes from 1953 with Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe. Next we have Grease from 1978. Of course, classic with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Next we have High Fidelity from 2000. Great film. Love John Cusack in this. You've got great people like Jack Black, who's awesome in this. Tim Robbins. Yeah, just a great movie about a record store owner trying to deal with his breakups and his former relationships. Next we have Immortal Beloved from 1994. Gary Oldman, of course, as Beethoven. Julia Ormond. Beautiful looking film. Next we have The King and I from 1956 with Yul Brynner and Deborah Kerr. Yeah, great movie. Next we have Meet Me in St. Louis from 1944 with Judy Garland. Classic, of course. Next we have Moulin Rouge from 2001, Baz Luhrmann's film with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor. When I first saw this, I sort of hated it at first, especially the beginning when I saw it in the theaters, but I grew to like it when I watched it in the theater that very same sitting, and I really like it now. But the first like 10-15 minutes I found unbearable the first time I saw it. Next we have The Music Man from 1962, I believe. I don't like these modern covers. I mean, it looks like it's just not very flattering for these classic films. So I like the classic covers. Okay, next we have My Fair Lady, of course, classic with Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison from 1964. A very colorful cover. Next we have Nashville from 1975. Great film directed by Robert Altman. Almost put it back in the wrong place. Next we have Nowhere Boy from 2010 on Blu-ray. A very underrated movie about the young John Lennon, played by Aaron Johnson. Kristen Scott Thomas is great in this as well. Sort of about the formation of the Beatles and Lennon's early life. Next we have Oklahoma. Roger and Hammerstein's, of course, classic from 1955. And that is, of course, followed up by Oliver from 1968. I think the only version of Oliver Twist that I own. I need to get the David Lean one, probably. Next we have Once, beautiful movie from 2007. Absolutely love the music in this. The main song by the two of them. What's his name? Glenn Hansard and Marketa Ergelina. Is that how you say it? Erglover. Sorry, those Czech names are hard to pronounce. Okay, next we have The Producers, the original from 1968, brilliant film by Mel Brooks, one of my favorite Mel Brooks comedies. Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder, just hilarious. And I know it got a lot of slack, but I actually enjoyed the remake with Matthew Broderick, Nathan Lane, and Uma Thurman from, when did this come out? 2006, I believe. Something like that. Next we have Ray from 2003, brilliant film by Taylor Hackford with Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles. Okay, next we have The Runaways from 2011 on Blu-ray. I really enjoyed this. I thought Kristen Stewart and Dakota Fanning were great as Joan Jett and Cherry Curry. And the formation of The Runaways in 1976. What's his name? Oh God, I'm forgetting. Michael Shannon, who's awesome on countless movies, Boardwalk Empire as well. Really good in this. I really enjoyed it. Music's great. Next we have School of Rock from 2003. Absolutely love this film. One of my favorite Jack Black performances. Basically, the movie he was made to do. The kids are great in this. A nice supporting cast. You've got Sarah Silverman, who's good. Joan Cusack, Mike White. Yeah, I just love School of Rock. Next, we have Seven Brides for Seven Brothers from 1955 with Jane Powell and Howard Keel. Next, we have Singing in the Rain from 1952, my favorite all-time musical with Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, and Debbie Reynolds. Next, we have The Sound of Music, of course, classic from 1965 with Julie Andrews. Next, we have Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Great Tim Burton film with Johnny Depp, of course, and Helena Bonham Carter. I really enjoyed the heck out of this. I thought it was loads of fun, very dark, very funny. I like the look of the movie. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of that. Next, we have Swing Time, classic from 1936, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Next, we have Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny, Jack Black and Kyle Gass, of course. Pretty hilarious, actually, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. The music's fun, and there's some funny stuff in this. Next, we have another classic, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, and that's Top Hat from 1935. Okay, moving on. Next, we have Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story from like 2006. Basically a send-up of Walk the Line, which is coming up next with John C. Reilly. Yeah, very funny, good supporting cast. Who else was in this? Jenna Fisher and Kristen Wiig. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And that, of course, leads to Walk the Line from 2004. Brilliant performance by Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash, and Reese Witherspoon in her Academy Award winning performance as June Carter Cash. Great music, just a great movie. Next, we have The Wedding Singer from 1998, one of my favorite Adam Sandler films. It's one I can actually tolerate him. He and Drew Barrymore are very sweet together. Very funny movie. Great 80s soundtrack. Yeah, loads of fun. Next, we have West Side Story. I'll just point at it since it's just fell back a little bit. Classic, of course, from 1961. And last but not least, we'll go with Yankee Doodle Dandy. Classic Jimmy Cagney from 1942. And I probably got that year wrong, which I should know better. Yeah, I think it's 42. Anyway, that is the music section. Thank you for watching as always. Up next will be my mystery section. So until next time, I'll see ya.